You're tuned into Soul to Soul. We're your hosts, James and Kathy LaValle, conscious living life coaches. And to continue with our conscious living series, our topic today is practical, critical thinking. Learning how to think for yourself, getting beyond just learning facts.
And I like to think of critical thinking as intellectual open-mindedness. It involves analyzing and interpreting and evaluating not only your physical reality, but also the intangible reality. And your physical reality would be the things that are tangible, facts that you learn, things that you can explore with your five senses. And your intangible world would be things like your feelings and your thoughts, the beliefs that you hold, and things in your non-physical reality, such as your dreams and things that you're the only one that can experience it.
Well, for our listening audience, tangible is something you can get your hands around.
Yeah.
Intangible is something that escapes you. It's not there. It can't be seen.
Yeah, it's not necessarily any physical evidence that it's there. So critical thinking is learning how to analyze, these two aspects of your world. And it kind of goes along with our series of conscious living that we've started doing. And critical thinking there's an aspect of it that's very scholarly. It's very important in the academic world that they teach this at the higher levels of education to think critically. And it can get very involved and detailed, but we're not talking about the think tank stuff. Yeah, I mean, they actually have societies of critical thinkers and things like that you can join, but in everyday living, we're just going to keep it kind of on a very mild level, and just to get our audience kind of aware of how they can become more conscious and really rationalize some of the thoughts and the decisions that need to be made. So
not taking what just somebody says as fact, doing a little self-exploratory research and searching out the fact for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we're inundated with opinions, every day, from the news on down to the next marketing hype that's going on, and people's opinions, and they're throwing facts at us and statistics. And
well, everybody has an opinion, and everybody likes to share their opinion to whoever will listen.
But in critical thinking, it involves just kind of really researching the source of some of the information that you're processing. Investigate the sources and challenge those sources. If you think that something that you're reading you just can't buy into it, challenge that source. Find out more about the author of that source, or where the information is coming from.
Like news and gossip and all those statistics supposedly that's been done by these researchers that may just throw numbers down there.
Yeah, I mean, if you really stop and evaluate where your news sources come from, there's probably only a couple of main sources that, the journalists get their information from, and they might take just a very small bit of a study, and they'll take something that sounds newsworthy, and they'll write about it, and they'll present. Usually, they only present. You might only get one side of the story, or one side of the study, or the side that they want to convince you to follow.
Well, if you're having an interview done by the news media, make sure that you're in good standings with them. Otherwise, you could get soundbited to death to the negative.
Yeah, and the same with printed media. I mean, you just got to really investigate the main source of the information. If daily, we read the Yahoo News a lot, and there's always something they're telling us about the latest study and what the current findings are. And, we've made a habit to not just take that as fact. We tend just go to the main source of that study. They'll usually tell you some information about it in the article, and research it. You know, find out for yourself what exactly all was involved in that study. How many people were in that study? You know, sometimes they survey 20 people and they call that statistics. You know, is that something that you'll buy into with only 20 people, you know, being researched? You know, that's something that you have to ask yourself as a critical thinker. So, you know, even gossip that you hear, that's a very popular one. Everybody loves drama, and, you know, you hear a piece of gossip and you just immediately assume that because somebody told you that's fact. And
gossip, hearsay, you know, it's all, you know, being thrown at you without any validity being given to it.
Yeah, and how many times do somebody tell you something and that immediately forms your opinion about somebody?
Or even people that try to use persuasive speeches. You know, you have this speech that's done that you go see or hear, and what validity is there to the speech? Are there credits given by the speaker? You know, and if there are, you may want to research it for yourself if you have doubts about it.
Yeah, and especially if it's a persuasive speech, there's usually some type of main agenda that they're trying to persuade you to their side. I mean, we see that a lot in politics.
Join this, buy that, you know. Or
yeah, marketing commercials, politics is good for that. You know, that there's always something that they're trying to persuade you to do. So, you know, instead of just taking that and letting someone persuade you just by your words, critical thinking, it allows you to dig deeper and to really
step back and just, you know, step back and see it from a different perspective. You know, stepping back from your emotions and, you know, just let it sink in.
Yeah. When you separate yourself from your emotions, you kind of take a pause and you think about what thoughts are going through your head. You know, how are you feeling about what you're reading or hearing? You know, is it creating anger? Is it creating anxiety? Is it creating frustration? Or is it giving you a good feeling? You know, there's always that side. There's lots of words that are spoken or things written to make you feel good, and just self-assess what's going on when you're reacting to information that's coming at you.
Yeah, why are you reacting like that?
So critical thinking it's searching for solutions to problems and ideas, and in the search for more information, you might find that something is going against your current belief system, or it might go against an idea that you originally had about something. So being a critical thinker means that you do need to keep that sense of open-mindedness to accept the new information, even if it does go against what you currently
Well, does critical
believe.
thinking mean that you got to be a skeptic or be skeptical about it?
Well, I think that there's probably somewhat of a difference between being skeptical and being a critical thinker.